We can't pull from experiences that we've never had. This is going to be very, very helpful as far as helping to get yourself through these obstacles and navigating what is an obstacle, what is an excuse. We're going to figure out how to get past it and how to actually coach yourself into a solution, hopefully, as well. Hey there, everybody. I am Ali Virtue, functional medicine nutritionist and host of the Pre-Diet podcast. And today we are talking about excuses versus obstacles, how to tell the difference and what to do about it. Make sure you follow the show, share this episode with a friend, follow on social media, ali.parksidenutrition on Instagram, on YouTube, ali.parksidenutrition, and check out parksidenutrition.com for all the latest and greatest free resources, and make sure to subscribe to the email list, parksidenutrition.com/subscribe. This will also give you instant access to the exclusive email subscriber library full of free resources, free downloads, example meal plans, and tons of training. All those goodies delivered right to your email every Friday on the Free Shit Friday email list. So this is a big problem. This is a big problem I see in my career, and I know other people see it. This is quite often why someone reaches out in the first place. They say, I need accountability. I'm not getting things done. I just need you to hold me accountable. And there's some truth to that. I definitely usually find there's also some missing information. But today I want to teach you a really effective framework, a really effective filter, some good questions to ask yourself to help you get past excuses. Is it an excuse? Is it an obstacle? Because a lot of times, potentially excuses could be valid, but how do you know? Like, we're so biased. We're so biased. And I have hired a nutrition coach in the past for myself with half of my credentials while I was in grad school. It felt so ironic, to be honest, to hire someone else to tell me what to do, but it was effective. It was effective because they could see through my excuses. They were more objective and they could see the solutions that I couldn't see. Imagine yourself staring at a wall and you just cannot see past that wall. It is a wall. How are you supposed to get past a wall? And you're so focused looking straight ahead of you that you can't realize that there's a door to your left or that you can walk around it. But your coach can. They deal with this type of obstacle all the time. So they have solutions or potential solutions, or they're ready and waiting to help you navigate it. But you're so focused on the problem, it's really hard to see solutions when you're that close to it. So as always, this is a helpful plug to work with a professional, work with an accountability buddy, but just reach out to people and ask for help because we only know what we know. And we can't pull from experiences that we've never had. This is going to be very, very helpful as far as helping to get yourself through these obstacles and navigating what is an obstacle, what is an excuse. We're going to figure out how to get past it and how to actually coach yourself into a solution, hopefully, as well. Excuses versus obstacles, how to tell the difference and what to do about it. Let's dig into it. So number one, this is normal. If you are not aware, it is totally normal to hit roadblocks when you are trying to make changes. The goal isn't to be perfect with any of that stuff. And I think a lot of people think that when they reach out to a nutrition coach, they're like, my diet starts Monday. I'm going to have my meal plan, my macros, my calories, and it's going to work on the first try. I'm going to do all of the things because I magically hired this person. Newsflash, you're probably not going to be as perfect as you think you are. Even if you are paying someone, even if you are, have all of the things going for you, it takes time to implement all this stuff. I hear this more often than not of like, man, that was a crazy last week. That's really abnormal for me. It's probably actually normal. We were just paying closer attention. And we were also trying to make changes. So therefore, it was also more difficult. So instead of aiming to be perfect, I would love to invite you to be curious about what's really getting in the way. If we can be curious about it, there's no guilt around it. There's no negative connotations. We're just straight up curious. And then we can start to think critically about how we can change the situation if we want to and if we need to. So before going forward, let's define excuses. Let's define obstacles because there is a difference and we want to figure out how we can know the difference a little bit sooner. So an excuse is a story we tell ourselves that justifies inaction, often based on fear, perfectionism, or old beliefs, especially old beliefs around what we are capable of. Because we are trying to change what we are capable of. Therefore, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Obstacle, a real barrier that makes the action harder. Not necessarily impossible. It's something we can plan for or work around, but it's not necessarily impossible. Let's remember that. So an example could be if we're comparing these two, an excuse. This could be, I don't have time to cook healthy meals. That's the excuse. Obstacle, I work 10-hour shifts and commute an hour each way. That's a significant obstacle. I don't discount that hardship. That is a difficult thing to get around. But it doesn't necessarily mean we don't have time. We might have to get creative. We might have to optimize other times or days in our week, but there's a potential workaround for that. So notice the difference. One is a belief, one is a circumstance. So here are 3 questions I like to use as a filter. And this was a really popular topic in the group program, the Habit Kickstarter, the other week. So I did want to share this, share a little bit of it with you guys. So the first question on my list to help us filter through is this true all the time? For example, I don't have time for XYZ. Question number 2, is there anyone else in a similar situation making it work? So this helps separate our story from circumstance. And without shame. Shame's not the goal here. An example of this could be a busy single parent working 12-hour shifts, etc. They're making it happen. It's tough. We're not going to discount that. But maybe we just need to change our strategy, change our expectations. Something about the situation is workable. And the third question is, if this is a true obstacle, what's one small workaround I can try? What can I do about it? And this is when we can ask someone else who has an outside perspective of the situation, maybe someone who has also dealt with a similar situation and can help us see a solution. This helps us shift the conversation towards a strategy, not blame, not focusing on the problem, but focusing on a solution. So how can I optimize other times or days of my week to get what I'm trying to done? Because quite often a lot of obstacles that people see are money, time is probably like the biggest ones, or lack of knowledge or lack of know-how. But there are solutions to those. So here's some real life scenarios. I'm too tired to work out. My partner doesn't eat healthy, so why bother? I forgot to meal prep this week. I was traveling for work and didn't have a fridge. Tracking my food takes too long. It's too hard to plan out my food. Is this an excuse or an obstacle? If an obstacle, what could help to make this easier? If it's an excuse, what belief might be hiding underneath it? Is this insecurity? Is this us feeling overwhelmed? Is it that we need to try a smaller version of this habit? Do we need to rearrange something? What's the limiting belief behind that statement? Because I think those are mostly obstacles that we could work around. But if we have that belief that is insurmountable, it's effectively a barrier because we can't think of a possible solution. So let's just change how we think about it first and really start to switch gears to how can I solve this problem if I absolutely had to? Because to be honest, me as a coach, when I hear a lot of these things, my brain goes into problem solving mode because I know from working with lots of people that I need you to exercise. I am very flexible on the form, the time duration, multiple parts of that, but it's not really an option not to exercise in some way. We got to move our body. Same thing for eating well. Yeah, sure, we have birthdays, we have celebrations, we have moments where we're going to eat fun food. But it's not really a non-negotiable to give you good food to eat, food that loves you back, food that makes you feel good. That's not really negotiable for me. Just like, if we're financially responsible, saving for retirement's kind of a non-negotiable, whatever we are capable of doing. But I need to have that mindset. Even if I have $2 to save this month, that's a non-negotiable. That's something that I need to do. It's critical to my future self and their longevity and their survival and their ability to thrive and do other wonderful things. I need to take care of future me. So I encourage you to think about those excuses. I won't even say excuses because we think of them first as obstacles, right? And you might know very quickly that it's an excuse. But quite often, initially, when something comes up, you're like, well, I just don't have time. Like, that's our knee-jerk reaction, right? Is to think that before someone can potentially contradict us or say, just freaking get it done. But our first instinct is probably that it's an obstacle. And then we might start to realize, I could probably work around that somehow. And we start to believe that it's actually probably an excuse. And that should be a powerful thing in the sense of like, that's an excuse. I can work around it. I can do something about it. I have tools at my availability. I can really make progress on this if I really set my mind to it. And in that way, I like to think of obstacles. Once we've identified it as an obstacle, obstacles are opportunities to create a new path to something better. If we think about it, excuses protect us from discomfort. So if I say, I just Couldn't afford that. I don't have time. It takes the pressure off of me, and it is kind of more of, I don't want to say a victim mentality because I think that's the wrong way to phrase it, but essentially it's like, well, couldn't do anything about it. It's not on me. It's not my fault. Is essentially kind of what we're saying. We're not trying to put anybody at fault. We're trying to help you, right? We're trying to give you opportunities to succeed, to choose something different. Because every time we choose something different, that's where real growth happens. That's where it gets easier every single time. Anytime you've done something new and it was a new skill, like it was hard, right? It was really hard to choose that. It was really hard to do that thing. But after that, it usually gets easier, right? Like the first time you say no to yourself. Like, no, you can't afford that. You need to be responsible. You need to go pay your mortgage first, pay your rent, save money first, or whatever, right? That first time you say no and do the hard thing and the thing that does not give you instant gratification, that's hard. But if you're new to this journey, it gets easier. It gets so much freaking easier because, and especially as you're on this journey and hopefully paying very close attention to your thoughts and your feelings and just everything about your experience going forward as you're making these changes, whatever journey you're on, hopefully you pay attention to how good that feels later. That's why it's not hard for me to be on the trajectory I'm on as far as like maintaining my healthy habits because I've done the hard work of choosing those new things first. And then once you do that over and over again, I realize that I feel so freaking good from going to the gym, from feeding myself really well, from moderating my sugar intake to for going to bed on time. I still struggle with that one. But for the majority, like I've made those hard decisions for the first time enough times now that it's so much easier. It's so much easier. You can truly be on cruise control because you know where you're going. You know it's worth that effort in saying no to yourself in some of those scenarios. So obstacles are meant to challenge us. They're meant to make us problem solve. If this stuff was easy, I don't want to get political or anything like that, but like if our society was a healthier population, it would probably be easier to be healthy, but it's not. We have food on every corner. Our food tastes insanely delicious, and it's really easy to overconsume. So we have to work hard. We can't just sit on the lazy river and ride that thing. We have to get out of the lazy river. We have to swim upstream. We have to get out when we have the opportunity to take a better path. I wish that wasn't the case, but it is something that you can do something about, and I think that's exciting. Either way, remember this is not about judgment or shame or anything like that. It is about making progress, taking action instead of letting the situation happen to us. Do what you can about it, learn from it for now, so we can make future decisions so much easier for ourselves. Losing weight right now will not be easy. Hopefully, it will become easy to maintain years and years from now. So let's review those questions again. Number one, is this true all the time? Number two, is there anyone else in a similar situation making it work? Number three, is this a true obstacle? What's one small workaround I can try? What can I do about this situation? So is this true all the time? Because this is the key here. We're always going to be tired. Or maybe hopefully we won't always be tired. We're going to probably be tired a lot of the time. We're going to be exhausted. We're going to be, any of those normal challenges throughout the week. If it's happening all the time, we cannot afford to let it be an excuse. We can't afford that. It's too expensive. If we want to think about it that way. It is too expensive to ignore the gym 5 days a week. We won't get anywhere, right? That is too much. That's too much. It's just not an option. We got to work out. We got to move. We got to find some sort of solution. So if we take that option of like not doing the thing off the table, and maybe we say, okay, fast food is no longer an option for me. I got to find good food. And when I say good food, I got to find food that makes me feel good. That's what I mean by good food. If that food is not going to make me feel good in a couple hours, mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever, it's not a good option for me, whatever it is. So if I have to solve this situation, because this situation comes up all the time, vacation comes up all the time, busy nights come up all the time, being tired comes up all the time. We got to be good. We got to practice being good in those situations where it's not easy. So is this true all the time? If this is coming up over and over again, we got to look at this as an opportunity to practice something better. Number two, is there anyone else in this similar situation? Probably. I look at my life and I hear about others and I'm like, damn, Someone my age could have, lots of kids. They could be a single parent. They could be working multiple jobs. Like, I know there's people working harder than I am, so I should make this work. I should make the most of my opportunity in my situation because I know there's somebody else that's got it harder than me. Not worse necessarily, but harder. And they can still grind it out. They can still figure it out. So why not try? Let's try to figure it out. Number three, if this is a true obstacle, what's one small workaround I can try? What can I do about it? I love this. And if you've listened to any of my podcasts, you know I'm a stubborn person. And as a kid, I kind of relished that. And as an adult, I kind of cherish that quality in myself because it makes you extremely resilient, extremely passionate, and yeah, stubborn. So if you tell me I can't do something, and I know people out there listening to this could think the same thing about themselves. If someone tells you you can't do something, oh, buddy, they better hold on because you're going to prove them wrong. This is the same thing. Imagine anybody that doubted you and be like, she's probably not going to be able to lose the weight. She's probably not going to be able to make those changes. Oh man, does that light a fire under your butt? Right? Tell me I can't do something. I'm going to do it. You have to want to do this stuff more than anybody else. And for a reason that is just absolutely laughable. And when I say that, I mean, if I'm losing weight to live a really long time and be with my family, no one can make fun of me for that. No one can even possibly think that, like, gosh, she just wants to lose weight so she can like live a really long time. It's so ridiculous. Imagine like the bullies and the naysayers saying that, and it's so easy to dismiss them completely, right? You have to absolutely really freaking want this. Even if it is a true obstacle, we got options. We got people we can talk to. We have the internet, which is a dangerous and scary place sometimes. But if we try, if we teach it, if we treat this as a challenge to just absolutely grit our teeth and figure it out, we can probably find something better. And it doesn't have to mean that we absolutely solve the problem. I think this happens a lot, right? Especially with parents or people who are just busy, like finding the time to work out. And to them, they might not think, I don't have time for my 2 hour gym session that I used to do in my 20s. Yeah, most don't. Most functioning adults don't that have stuff to do. Like they can't make that time to train for 2 hours in a day. But we have to change our expectations. Maybe that just changes form. Maybe that is now a 30-minute walk. And we don't need to think that that's nothing. It's not nothing. It's something. And that 30 minutes can also change into a lifting session. But that 30 minutes of you time, of exercise time has to be in your schedule. If it's not in your schedule, we have no chance. So those habits need to be there in some form. So the solution to your obstacle might not be 100% resolution right away, but let's take something. Something is better than nothing. We got to take action. We got to believe that we can do something about it before even taking that step. I'll get off my soapbox. I think that's most of what I had for you today. But I hope that's helpful because this is something that comes up a lot, and you can tell probably that I'm fairly passionate about it. And it's not from a place that makes fun of people on the internet or makes fun of, people trying to do this for the first time. It's from wanting to see more people succeed because I see the potential in them and I see how important this is. Because we need to be healthier for ourselves. We need to be healthier for our loved ones. And that starts with you. That starts with you never giving up. And quite often those excuses, those obstacles get people down. And that's really frustrating to see because I think we have a lot of potential to do amazing things. Anything we set our mind to, I think we can really do it or at least get a lot closer than we think we're capable of. So just remember that when things get tough or things get challenging for you, you have people in your corner, you have resources, you can do something about it. I challenge you to do something about it. And I appreciate you listening. Thanks so much for being here. Feel free to share this with a friend, share on social media, and make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you are listening. And please subscribe to the email list, parksidenutrition.com/subscribe. I would love to see you on the Free Shit Friday email and deliver free shit to your email every single week. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and I will see you on the next one.